You guys ready to talk about The Raid?
I want my McDonald's.
I know, I'm excited to watch The Raid. I mean, talk about it. I'll watch it again, probably. Hey guys, Ryan Wright here.
And I'm Jerry.
And I'm Sally, not here.
Welcome to Reasons to See,
where we give you reasons to see.
Oh, not to see.
The Raid 2. Not
Berandal.
Not Berandal.
Yeah, I guess they took that off for America.
So let's hang out. Alright guys, so we saw The Raid 2
Electric
Boogaloo. Yeah, Raid 2 Berandal. It means thugs or tough guys or motherfuckers who want to kick some ass. I don't know, a bunch of you guys have told me the definition. Sorry, these guys complain about me being loud, but it is fucking incredible. There's a lot more story in it. There's a lot more story in it, Sally. Jerry!
Huh?
There's more story in this one. You guys really need to go see an ENT. I kind of thought of like The Dark Knight of how it transitioned from Batman Begins, because this one feels like a total crime thriller. Yeah. And it's more of an ensemble piece. Like, it's not Rama the whole time.
It's a crime epic.
Yeah,
really.
it's a crime epic.
I mean, this movie is almost the opposite, because the first one is like very immediate. It's just what's going on right now. And this movie, they obviously have a bigger budget and more toys to play with, is like much more intricate, and there's a lot of cutting back and forth between various things going on.
First one was more just like, let's put out a kick-ass action film. This one was very like last season of Breaking Bad-esque. It was really intense. You really had to pay attention to the names.
So much meth in it too. Gosh.
Oh my god, I know.
Incredible amounts of meth, and that's why they move the way they do. They explain why they're able to move like that finally. Going off of what Sally said, thinking about the simplicity of the first one, that's why I think, like, this is not to say part 2 isn't entertaining, because it certainly is. But part 1 I thought had a more natural sense of fun to it, only because it's much more simple, it's more straight to the point.
It's lean, you know.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that it did seem like a whole other movie. It did have a couple of things in it that was a little confusing, but it didn't really take away from it.
You gotta really pay attention.
Really have to pay attention.
You would think it'll be easier because you're reading subtitles the whole time.
There's a lot of
But
subtitles.
no, it's kind of confusing
it's like
sometimes.
reading a novel.
Well, and part of it too is like you're trying to read, but you're also trying to sort of drink in what the frame is.
Yeah, and also like, because these movies are so artistic in the way that each shot is done, so not only are you reading the subtitles and trying to remember the names, but you're also like trying to pay attention to these shots because they're all really important.
Oh, each shot is like perfectly framed. Especially in the theater, it's amazing. Like the first shot, you just see this huge like field.
Big open field.
Yeah, and then in the very corner, you see like these cars pull up, and it's like at a scene from a fucking like casino where they're about to kill someone in the desert.
Even before that, it just starts like the first action is just little puffs of smoke that come up, you know.
And you know, that's actually the most effective thing in my opinion, because you're so focused on this little tiny bit that when it cuts to the actual part, it's just like boom, and you're really surprised.
Yeah.
And the thing that really got me, which I explained to him in the car, was the shot of the leaf. It just was showing like leaves, and I was like, why do they keep showing this? And then all of a sudden you see blood splatter, and it just goes into that. Those shots just make the film, though.
It's a really well shot movie all around, and I mean,
oh yeah, it's beautiful.
It just adds to the suspension every time.
The first one's well shot, but it's like there's a lot of stuff that's really symmetrical and picturesque, but then there are these things where there's a mud fight.
Oh, that was great.
That scene feels like it's all being shot in these really long takes, and it's like handheld almost. The technical prowess and how they were able to capture all these things over such long shots in camera, like they must have had to choreograph everything.
Yeah. And I tried finding continuity issues with this film, and I did not.
Oh, the editing is brilliant.
Editing was
brilliant editing throughout, man.
And the music, shall we even comment on the music? I mean, like,
we shall.
It's so perfect that you don't even, you know, when something flows so well in a movie, you don't even notice it, but then you're like, damn, actually that was perfect.
It's badass music.
Pretty
sound and music both play a huge part in this movie.
What I really liked too was just overall the setup of the characters, because you're way more emotionally invested this time around.
True.
I like those undercover stories where they get so involved in it that, you know, are they becoming a criminal? It was weird because there's a time where I'm like, oh yeah, Rama's in this movie, because he's kind of gone for a long part of the film. It does come back to him, and it's totally worth it. But the villains, I thought, thought were really fucking good.
it
Like,
was-
really good villains.
It was nice getting invested in these villains because then at one point I was kind of not like rooting for, but the son, what was his name? The son of basically the guy that Rama got out of jail. Like, he saved his life in jail. I really just loved his character, even though he was a villain. At one point I was kind of rooting for him and Rama to kind of join forces and both be good, but that didn't happen.
Well, it's that thing where you start to wonder, like, who is on the better side of things right now? Is it, you know, these crime organizations? Is it the police? Are the people I'm working for crooked?
Also, it was constantly changing, and that's what I like, because it wasn't just like one person the whole entire time that was a bad guy.
And they knew exactly when to introduce another bad guy.
That's true.
Like, when they finally show the girl from the trailer who's like kicking those guys' asses on the train, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about this character. But she comes in at the right exact moment. Like, so late into the film,
I had
but
forgotten about her, and then I was like, yes, the girl, that I remember
and
that.
she's badass. I call her Hammer Girl. She is fucking awesome, dude.
The credits call her Hammer Girl.
Oh, is that what she's called?
Her name is like Alicia or something, and then in parentheses it just says Hammer Girl.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, she was fucking awesome.
I'm jealous of the actress who played her, because that's such an awesome role to have.
Well, and that's another thing that makes the second one much bigger and more expansive than the first one, is that there are a lot more colorful characters and a lot more sort of eccentric characters in this movie, and you know, definitely the villains are part of that.
So much though, like my mind is, oh my god.
The first one's more about the immediate thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Whereas this one it's exploring like the underworld at this point. And it's really fucking neat. Oh, even like fucking baseball guy. He was great too. I was like, this guy's badass. It's like the villains are badass.
I love that he looked like just a bum who just got off the couch eating potato chips, like playing video games, just walking around with his baseball bat. He was just like, this is just what I do.
And that sort of leads into just the action generally is so creative, and that's part of what makes first movie so good, is that there are so many different kinds of fights, and this movie even builds on that, where it's like different weapons, different spaces that they're fighting in, different amounts of people. There's a car chase that feels more like a martial arts fight scene than a car chase.
I know.
It's
I was
realistic
gonna say,
though, man. It's cool.
They kicked Fast and Furious's ass with that one car scene.
She said that loud as fuck in the theater.
Oh my god.
Now, if it was like a little Hollywood theater, I would have been like, cool. At ArcLight Cinemas, where they really encourage you to shut your mouth, she's like... At one point, okay, this movie has a lot of attention to detail that I love. And at one point, this Indonesian mob family and then this Japanese mob family are talking, and they talk in English to each other because it's a common language. And Sally decided to shout out, "Oh, English!" in the middle of this scene. She was so excited just to hear that people were speaking our native tongue.
Our tongue. Like, I don't have to read. It was so perfect that they even did that, because as you said, like, a lot of Japanese people speak English because of the whole business thing, and they do a lot of business with America.
Yeah, it's a common language.
But what I was also thinking, though, is that a huge flaw in American films is that whenever someone is foreign, automatically they're British.
Yeah, like old school films.
They're British unless you can't get away with that.
Exactly.
Like, unless they're Asian or black, they can't be not.
Okay, it's like a comic book, because every character has so much depth to them, even if you don't spend too much amount of time with them. The father of the Indonesian crime family. Am I boring you, Sally?
No,
Is that what's happening?
Dude, we watched 2 3-hour movies in like 2 days. I'm so tired.
Yeah, the father, he was a great character too, because he was like scary, but he was very authentic. He wasn't playing evil guy.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Far from, no.
Yeah.
I mean, he's actually, you're kind of, even though he's a criminal, you're kind of on board with his methodology.
Yeah.
It's like, as a criminal, he's running this in probably the
really
best way possible.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as the action goes, like, everyone knows the action's gonna be fucking amazing. Compared to the first one feels like it might have more action, and it maybe does.
No, it doesn't.
Because
this movie is twice as long as the first one.
But there's also like like the first hour is primarily dialogue.
That's true. I mean, like, I can understand where the balance of it may have felt like this one didn't have as much, but then towards the end, it's just like constant, like 10-minute fight scenes.
Here's what I gotta say about the action. The first one, once the action kicks in, it just kicks in, and then it's just brrrr for like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And this one, the action scenes are very much spread out. The movie has such a build to it. Like
I kind of liked this slow though.
yeah, because it makes it more emotional when the fight scenes come in. And when it got to the fucking finale, when Rama's like, just answer me one question.
Yeah.
Is my family safe? And he's like, okay, because some shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
And then shit goes down. The crazy thing is the violence in the first one, a lot of time it felt like just a fun action, but violent film. In this one, the violence felt like, this is violence right here.
It felt like everything was on the line. I was like, please don't get cut. Hit Rama or I will cry.
Well, because, you know, in the limited nature of the first one, it's like you've got soldiers with guns, and then
he had people backing him up in the first one. This one, he was pretty much alone.
But you have all these soldiers with guns, and then versus, you know, people living in a tenement with just whatever's around, maybe a machete. This movie is like, you're dealing with various criminals from all over, and so the range of weaponry is far wider, and they really take advantage of that.
One thing I do have to say though, can anyone explain to me, like the last real fight scene he had with that guy with the two
the claws.
Yeah, with like the claw things. Towards the end of that, he like ripped Rama's tendons right where the back of his knee is. But for the rest of the fight scene, he didn't really limp at all. And it's like, and he was like, well, yeah, because of the adrenaline. But I understand if you get shot.
I did have to wonder about that, because if you actually sever something where you can't.
No, it's not, because you can't.
But there's a difference between your leg not working and you ignoring
I was saying, he said adrenaline, but I'm like, okay, I understand. If you get shot, like, somewhere, yes, your adrenaline will still keep running until you run out of blood and then you pass out. But with something ripping to the point...
Suspending your motion.
No, yeah, totally.
Like your leg...
of disbelief.
Your tendons ripping and stuff, like, you can't... There's no justification for the fact that you won't be able to use that leg.
Well, you take it up with
If you can't suspend disbelief, you will not make it 10 minutes into this movie.
Okay, I'm just saying. But it got to a point where I was like, I understand. When he did that, though, and still kept fighting, I was like, they could have just ended it when that happened.
No, I'm actually with you on that. It's like, there is a certain point where you do, in your head, sort of acknowledge, okay, he wouldn't be standing. However, I don't care.
He was still badass. I'm not saying it was a fault or whatever, but I'm just saying it was a little much. If that's the only thing wrong with this movie, I mean, it's still fucking amazing.